What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Chasing Limits. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about winter tires, rims, different types of wheel nuts, lug nuts, Hubcentric rings, and this whole installation is going to go on this GRCorolla as it's still rolling on the summer wheels, which are the Michelin Pilot Sport 4. And these will be the tools that we'll be using to get the job done. So I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and tricks. So we got the jack, we got the air compressor, anti-seize, torque wrench, we'll need that, and then a 21 millimeter socket for the lug nuts. So let's get to it. All right, so we got the car all supported. We got it on this big jack in the front. We got the small little Honda jack in the rear just to support that. So that way we can do both wheels or two wheels at the same time. So we got it all loosened up using the torque wrench and also the key. So yeah, let's remove, clean it up, and get it ready. All right, so we removed the wheels. We cleaned up the brake calipers. I figured this would be a good time to clean that up as these brakes produce tons of brake dust. So now we're gonna apply some of this anti-seize on the studs here. And this just helps it prevent from basically seizing up, rust, anything like that. Well, I'm pretty sure these might be aluminum anyways, but still, who knows. And one last step before we put the winter wheels on, I'd like to check the brakes. So if you guys, hard to see here, but if you look in the caliper from this angle, you can probably see the thickness of the brake pads. And I know for this car, they're still pretty much new since the car is new. It's got probably 2,000 kilometers on it so far. But yeah, one thing I like to check before in the spring and in the fall when I remove the tires. So we got the winter tire rim package ready to go, bolted onto the car. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about and show you guys some key differences and some things that you guys should be aware of. So the factory tire size, it comes with a 235/40 ZR18. So we went with, for winter, with a 225/45 18-inch. So what does that mean? That means that the overall diameter has been increased by roughly 2.4%. And you guys can use the tire size calculator online to enter the OEM size, and then you enter the size that you want to go with. And I believe that as long as you're within 3%, plus or minus, you should be good. Now, another key difference is you have to pay attention is to the bore size. So the OEM bore size is 60.1. But these, being aftermarket wheels, are 67.1, I believe. So that's when these hub-centric rings come into play. So they basically fit over the hub like this. And it keeps the wheel centered and keeps the weight on this hub-centric ring instead of on each lug nut. So it's a bit of a safety issue as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're going to put them on the rim like this. And that's it for that. Now, another key difference is lug nuts. So these are the factory OEM Toyota lug nuts. And as you can see, they have a flat bottom here. So they're designed to sit on the flat bottom surface of the rim. And the inside here goes inside the rim, giving you maximum thread penetration. So if you were to go and use these on the aftermarket, it does not go through the hole and you'll get way less threads. That's when aftermarket comes in and you get these. So these have been tapered, but it allows you to go all the way into the hole, giving you maximum threads. And speaking of threads, I generally would like to get at least 7 to 8 turns on the stud. So that gives me a bit more confidence that the wheel is on there tight. All right, so we got the wheel on. Everything looks good. Everything fit great. We got a bit of a small clearance here between the brake caliper and the wheel weights, but that should be fine. This is the reason why I did go to 18-inch and not down to 17-inch, because 17-inch is just a bit too close for my comfort. We got the wheels torqued using this torque wrench. So we got them torqued to around 80 foot-pounds. The manual for this car says 76 foot-pounds. So I like to go just a little bit more. And also when you do tighten and torque it, make sure you go in a crisscross pattern, just to even it out so the wheel settles in nicely. So yeah, front is done, off and ready to go to do the rear. All right guys, so we're all done. We got all the 4 wheels on, installed. As for reference, these are the Michelin X Ice snow tires. So we'll see how they do in our wintry weather. Fitment is pretty good. They are a bit narrower, which is good because there's less stuff that's gonna get kicked up on the car. And we gotta clean up these factory wheels a bit more, clean up the inner barrels because they're full of brake dust. As I mentioned before, this car likes to produce tons of brake dust. So yeah, if you guys follow all these steps, you won't have any issues. I know every spring or in the fall when there's the tire switchovers for the season, there's been a lot of accidents that happen where tires go flying and they end up hitting other cars on the highway. So as crazy as that sounds, if you guys follow these steps, you're not gonna have those issues. And I also recommend that you guys, after about 100 kilometers or so of driving, recheck the torque on the lug nuts, make sure they're tight. And yeah, that's it. So hopefully you guys found this video informative. And as always, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.